Hello everyone and welcome back to Paper Peony. I'm excited to show you this. This happens to be my absolute favorite that I've done using this set. It's actually using one punch to do two different style cards. And we're going to do this one in this video, but I wanted to show you both of these cards because it's the same punch but using it in different ways. So this will be the next video that I do. But when we use the punch, this is the arm that's cut out of this, and then this is the channel to use as a spinner card. So, and this bead goes in the channels when it wants to. So, but yeah, as you can tap it, see it's loosening it up a little bit. So he will fly over the hive. So we're going to do this one first. But it's using the same punch. So the first thing I want to show you is for Stampin' Up's perks right now. First of all, the Be My Valentine bundle that we're using is out of the mini catalog, and this happens to be the mini catalog. And you can see and view all of the products in the catalogs and everything that I'm going over in this tutorial. You can look at on my Stampin' Up website and you can see everything there. But here is the mini catalog that is only good through April. And the Be My Valentine bundle is on page 8 through 10. And I'm using a lot of other dies and punches as well on this card, and I'm going to show you that too. The other thing I was going to point out, and because I'm using a lot of dies and things, you're easily, if you go in and you purchase all these items, you're easily going to go over $50. And so what I want to tell you is, if you purchase more than $50, for every $50 you spend right now, celebration's going on through the end of February. For every $50 that you spend, you get to choose an item out of this manual or out of this book for free. If you go over to $100, you get a more elaborate choice. And for every $50 that you spend, you get to choose. So if you spend $150, you can actually pick these dies for $100 and the stamp set to go with it for $50 if you want the whole entire bundle on that, or you can do three $50 items. It's just up to you. How do you want to do that? So, so celebration is going on right now. The other dies that I'm going to be using in this project here is obviously this hive. This hive comes from the die Fluffiest Friends. This is a bundle that is only found online. So if you go onto my website, shop products, and go to online exclusives, that's where you will find this collection. We're using this hive right here on these two cards that I'm about to show you today, and then the next one. And then as you can see, it's got a little hive right there, which is really cute, and a branch, and some grass, and some leaves, some balloons, and then all of these animals from the stamp set are part of the dies, and this dam for the beaver, the little bees right here, and the flowers is super cute bundle. And I'm going to do a lot of projects with this in the upcoming videos as well that I have for y'all. So I use the hive on that one, and then this one here happens to be basic border dies, and it's found in the annual. This is those magnetic sheets that I was telling you about. This happens to be the cloud border. I'm missing my cloud border. I don't know where it is. It's probably fallen behind something, and that's one of my favorites out of all 6 of these. But you get a small chevron, a bigger chevron, this arch of a die, a point here, and then this one that has a little scallop squared off edge. I use this rounded edge, and I've used this in a lot of projects in the future that you're going to see, but I also used it for my template today. Because I wanted an arch to kind of color in, to make shadowing on my hive. So you can either use this scallop part, or you can use the actual cutout from that. So I believe I'm gonna use this one. So we'll see which one's gonna work out the easiest. So, but that is how I got this shadowing on this hive, if you can see that. So, and it kind of gives it a little bit more dimension and detail. So, okay, so those are the dies that I use. Now I'm going to show you, when you purchase Stampin' Up dies, you're going to get them in this container here, or in this packaging. Okay, but because it's on a paper sheet and it's like strips of tape, this is what it looks like, okay? When you go to pull them off, then it's hard to put them back on how they went. So I go and get these magnetic sheets, and I love them. They're easy to keep all your dies, and you can see exactly all the dies at all times, looking, you know, facing outward instead of having to pull it out of the packaging to see what you have. It's very easy and convenient. I wanted to show you this because that's why I have this out. What I do, this is coming from Stampin Storage, by the way, that website. This is the magnetic sheets and then the envelopes. You have to get those separate. But this right here has your Fluffiest Friends dies. And what I did is when you get these dies on the very front, it will tell you what it is. And so I just cut that out. As you can see, I cut that out and then used my Tombow glue and glued that right there. And now I know what these dies are. And something that Patty Bennett had said in one of her videos in the past, and I was storing this with the short side in the front, and I'll show you. I was storing my dies short side face forward, which we all do. It's just common knowledge. But because you can see my dies are sticking out, and so to prevent the dies from falling off or getting jumbled, and that's probably what happened with my cloud die on that other one, is she said to store them on the back side. And then that way you don't have dies sticking out on the top. And so it's brilliant, it's perfect, and that's what I suggest doing. And so you'll be using the back side of these envelopes to store your dies if you go with this route. So, okay, so let's get started. We're using the Be My Valentine stamp set for the saying, and we're using the You Make My Heart Buzz on this one. And we're also using the, I believe that's it on this one. I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay, so we are using the heart punch that comes with the B set, okay? We're using the big heart and the little heart, which happens to be the wing and the antenna to the B. And then we're going to use this one. This one's found in the annual catalog. And this is the punch that we're going to be using, okay? And it's found in the annual book where punches are located. Okay, so let's get started. The first thing I'm going to do is, let's go ahead and punch the hearts out. This is Sweet Sorbet, and I'm just going to punch 2 hearts out. Okay. All right, and then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut my B out. And using the Designer Series paper, I picked this little B paper here. And I'm going to, I know I used this one on the arm here, but I'm going to cut this one out. And you can see a different look. And all you're going to do is you're just going to cut around your B. And remember, if you're right-handed, you're going to move your left hand. And if you're left-handed, you're going to move your right hand, and that way you get a solid cut. You don't get a jagged cut. You're letting your scissors just glide along as you move your left hand. Like so. Okay, so then after you get your B cut, you are ready to mount him where you're going to put him. Okay, so I've got 2 circle punches here, and they're 1 3/8. That is a retired punch, but for any circle you have, it will work as long as your image will go on top of that. Okay, so you're going to glue your B on top of your circle. One of your circles. Okay. All right, and then the next step you're going to do is you're going to take I use the red here for my arm because I wanted it to blend in with the background that I use. So I took a scrap piece of this paper here, the Designer Series paper, and I just punched an arm out. Okay, as you can see, now you have a channel. Okay, so you're going to use this, and you're going to glue your bead to the arm of that, to the very tail end. Okay, just like this, and let it air dry for a little bit. And then because you have the arm showing, you're going to just glue this on the back to sandwich it so you don't see the back piece of this Designer Series paper. Well, you don't see it attached to the arm. And it's making this be a little stronger too. When you go to move it around. Okay, so we have the arm piece done. Okay, and then I've did 2 die cuts on that hive that I showed you earlier. Okay, and let's go ahead and color, shade the top one. Okay, so we're just going to line this up just like so and go down with a blender brush or sponge brush. And let me get my mat out to do this. Let's do that. And if you're wondering about this glass mat, yes, you can get this if you sign up to be a demonstrator. And look at that in the celebration book. It will explain everything. Okay, so I'm bringing this in because I'm going to get ink when I sponge. And it's going to be better if I just do it like this. And then I can wipe it off with my silicone mat or my chamois. Okay, I'm going to shade darker because I want shadowing to take effect. So this is Crushed Curry. The cardstock I'm using is Daffodil Delight. And I'm just going to go round and round with my blender brush. And I'm coming in and I'm just going to go in and kind of go around that line. And see, it's giving me a shading effect. And you're just going to keep going down all the way down. You're just going to make a little line. Just to kind of give it some detail. And then go all the way down to the bottom. Okay, and there you have your hive. Okay. All right, so this back piece, you're going to use a brad. I used a brad on this. And let's see. We don't sell brads, so if you have brads in your stash, that's great. And if not, you can get get any kind of brad anywhere, really. Okay. And I used a hole punch, a little hole punch, and just punched a hole where I wanted my brad to go, which will be right there in the top center. And then you're just going to push the brad through there, okay? Make sure it goes in real good. Okay, you're going to line up your arm as well. And you probably want to do this at the beginning. You're going to line it up to punch one hole through all of it, okay? Then you're going to come in and put your brad through there. And being that you're not going to see the brad, it doesn't matter, you know, how it's facing or anything like that. It's just to make your arm mechanism, okay? All right, so before we sandwich this, I'm going to stamp You Make My Heart Buzz using Stays On ink, black Stays On. Okay. Okay, And then we're going to use your dimensions, and you're just going to come in, and on this back piece is where I put my dimensions. I just went through and just scattered dimensions throughout the hive, making sure you don't put it up here where it's going to affect your mechanism, because you want to make sure that it goes back and forth. See, when I go all the way here, I don't want a pop dot right there. So okay, and they're all sticky. Okay, so now you're just going to take this up and sandwich it together, making sure you don't have any sticking in any directions. Okay, and then there's your mechanism. Okay, so now we're ready to build our card. So this is 4 1/4 by 11, and we're going to score it at 5 1/2. In case you're wondering, my favorite all-time fold is the tent fold. You're going to see me use that quite a bit, just because it's a go-to for me. Okay, and then make sure you get this all nice and folded. Okay. Then I'm using that same paper, and dimensions will be down below on the top part. Okay. I'd use a different print for the bottom. And you want to have it have them sandwich each other, one go over the other one. Okay, making sure you have the borders the same on the top and the bottom of your card. Okay, then you're going to glue this flat down. And you want to pay close attention to, it doesn't matter that it goes over your card, as long as you can put it to where it's going to not be, because you have to remember you have to put this in an envelope. So you can put it down here, but if you put it, you just want to make sure that there's not going to be a place, like you want to come down low. See how it's going to be. It's just going to depend on how high up you could take the arm of your bee. On this other one that I did, I probably went up high, went down lower on my brad, and I can see it. And so that way the arm is not going over the card. So that's something to keep in mind when you're building this. Or you can very easily just go up, go up a little bit more on the arm and not have so much showing. Okay, but you want to make sure that when you put this in an envelope that it's not going to be sticking over your card base. Okay, so now we're just going to do the hearts that goes over your hive, just for added detail. Okay, and I just did a heart right there, and I did a heart right here, like the door. And then the last thing on here is to embellish it. So we're going to use the embellishments that come with this collection, the hearts and the flowers. And I'm just going to do a little bitty blue flower on the arm to give some attention to the bee. And then I'm going to use my Wink of Stella again and color this heart the big. You can do all of them if you want, and see, if you rush it, you're going to get air bubbles like I just did. There it goes. Okay, and that will dry and be clear like this one. So really cute card, and it just gives some kind of extra flair to your card by having movement on your card. So give it a try. It's white, so you don't have to line it on the inside if you don't want to. But this is what I have for you in this tutorial. In the next one, we will see how to do the channel and make a spinner card. Hope to see you there. Thank you. Bye-bye.